No, but I mean, so how's it been with the PD for you? I mean, whether
Talking
it's
about the
like,
rep,
yeah, how's your PD rep?
a
My PD
hundred.
rep's good. I mean, I think I've had mainly positive interactions with the police. I mean, it's mainly good. I mean, yeah, there's obviously certain times, but it's been mainly good to be honest. I don't think it's been bad.
How would you compare it from like 3.0 to 4.0?
Well, okay, at the start of 4.0 was a bit different because police would break off. Like, I don't know what it was. Right? I think it's like a 15-minute chase or something, or like if you were too violent in a chase, it would break off. So for me, that was a little bit different. Like I wasn't used to it, but I don't think cops do that no more, right?
So yeah, in the beginning, because we had so many low numbers, we told ourselves if it's like a misdemeanor chase, don't chase them. Just like, write warrants, fall back. But it's a violent chase, then chase them till wheels fall off.
Yeah. So yeah, back then it was very different because like police would break off, but now it's kind of back to what it used to be. The police will chase you. I think
What
that's
was the
good.
what was the reason it broke off? Was it just because of the numbers?
Numbers. And then if the chase is too reckless, right? Sometimes police chases are too reckless to where they cause more damage than they actually do, especially if it's something so small. If you trespass on a property, like
Mm.
why should we chase you for like 15 minutes? It's not worth it, right? But if you kill somebody, I'm gonna chase you till I catch you.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, what about you, client? Because you've now been on the receiving end of what some people affectionately or disaffectionately call 10 CGs. So how has it been for you?
Listen. So I've experienced both sides. I used to have a cop, and so I've done both sides. I know how it is to be a cop, and I know how it is to be a crim. I'll be honest with you, the roleplay itself, like the interactions, like talking to the people, is good. Like every time I talk to anybody, I mean Slacks, fucking whoever it is, it's always good interactions. But there's a lot of times, like during crime itself, where it gets to the point I do get frustrated sometimes, and this happens to everybody, cops, crims, it doesn't matter who you are. But I feel like sometimes a lot of things, at least I'm speaking like this because I've experienced it myself, right? As a cop, for example, like constant, I'll give an example, like pits, right? There's nothing wrong with pits itself, right? But the way I see pits is like the way people do pit maneuvers sometimes is like, and this is the way I think about it, is like they spam pit. You know what I mean? Like, and what I mean by spam pitting is like they pitch you once and they fail, and then they go 10 seconds again after failing, and they do it again, and they fail the pit again, and then after pitting again after 10 seconds, they do it again, and then they do it again until you're rammed into a corner. You get what I'm saying? So I just feel like certain things like that. It's just again, and I get it. You know what I mean? You're a cop. You're supposed to catch criminals, but things like that sometimes it gets a little frustrating. But I do understand both sides. Like for example, if you're a cop and you're chasing crims, and then they do constant swaps, or they're fucking getting on bikes, and they're doing all these things, it gets annoying. It's like it gets to a point where it's like, bruh, we've been in this chase for 30 minutes. Like, can we end it? I guess I don't know. So I understand it from both sides, but things like that get a little frustrating sometimes. Also, I feel like, for example, I'll say this. I don't know if you guys know what happened, but there was this case where we kidnapped Kid Archer, or I kidnapped Kid Archer in character.
Yeah, I remember that.
Off duty. Yeah, off duty, I kidnapped her. And basically, the whole RP of it was that Pina was going to make Kid Archer a thug because she was too soft and she's too nice, basically. She's too nice, right? And everybody, like, uses that against her. So he was going to make her a thug and, like, make her do crime, like, for example, like, lockpick a car or press somebody and shit like that. So we made her lockpick a vehicle, and then we ran from the cops, got away, but we got ID'd. I mean, we even tweeted about it in character, and then they try to hit Peanut with 7 days and 75,000, right? So for example, shit like that is like, for a fun RP scenario like that, I feel like cops should not trying to be hit someone with 7 days. Like that's 7 days real life. Like that means streaming 7 days in jail, and that was before Carmine and Bobby had the what's it
The
called?
prison.
The
Yeah.
prison. So that would have been 7 days of me sitting in jail doing nothing. You know what I mean? For trying to do a fun RP scenario. I mean, obviously, like, there should be repercussions. I'm not saying, like, oh, you know what I mean? Don't hit nobody with anything. But at the same time, I feel like stuff should match the crime at least. Like 7 days for that is crazy. I'm just giving, yeah.
Wait, how'd you come to the conclusion with 7 days?
That was on the docket.
Oh, that's what we're trying to push for.
That was, yeah, they're trying to push for 7 days
Okay.
and 75,000. Yeah.
What did you get?
We didn't get 7 days. They did a plea deal. I think they kind of realized, because I spoke to like 1 million people in character about this, and they kind of realized that was kind of crazy. 7 days for what happened. So they just they kind of understood where I was coming from, and they just gave us a plea deal, which it turned out good. But it took over a month trying to like hassle the cops with it. But yeah,
How much time did you get if you don't mind asking?
how much time was like 100? They dropped the human trafficking and just hit like the regular charges.
I
So
see,
it was
okay.
like 100 months and 8,000, I think. That was because they dropped the human trafficking basically completely.
I'm curious, and Forehead, I with that take, Klein, I'm curious, Forehead, Louis, how you feel about this? We talked about this on the DOJ episode. The thing, and this is where I feel it should be, is like for serious shit where it's like if you like shot a cop, or I would even say for like what you did there, client, like what I would say, like what you had Peanut do there. My thing is like, even if it's like more for like sort of fun RP, my sort of thought is like, it should be like serious enough that it like goes to the next, I guess, sort of setting of role play, which to me is like 1 day, right? Like unless you're like murdered someone, like cartel, serial killer, whatever, you know, like some crazy shit. My thought is like severe shit, like if you like did shoot a bunch of cops, or you got caught, or like got caught for like what you did. I kind of feel like they should like almost like soft cap it at like the 1 year sentence, like 1 day. So it's like, yo, you know, because then it's like almost from the streamer's perspective, right? It's like, yo, you did a ton of crazy shit this day. This character's now on cooldown for the, like, you're basically off for the rest of the day, and then he can come back, and it's like it like, because I think it then like stops that hey, I shot 10 cops and then you see me like 2 hours later. It's like, wait, what? So but I feel like the difference between like a 1 year sentence and then like a 3 year or a 7 year sentence, which, you know, for the viewers, that's like 3 days or 7 days, is crazy, right? Because I mean, you're a streamer, right? Like you got to go make content.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree, but I think maybe more than 1 day is fine. Honestly, 3 days wouldn't even be like that bad. It just depends. It's just about, does it fit the crime? You know what I mean? 3 days is fine. Like if you murder someone and kill them, and it's like some good RP out of it, and you get 3 days, then I mean, it's whatever. You know what I mean? It's just it depends if it fits. If it fits, if it makes sense, then why not?
I think if the prison had like its own like like say prison was a bit more, like there was just loads of people there all the time, and there like was a good ecosystem inside and lots of RP, I feel like then it'd kind of be different. Like if I got sent in for 3 years, like 3 days, and there's constantly stuff going on in prison, I don't think I'd even mind that much. I think it's just when you go there and there's nothing going on there, kind of in a way almost like a soft ban, because you can't really interact with anyone if there's no one there. But that's why I'm hoping they do that thing that I've seen Coil talking about with the prison, because I feel like it's got so much potential, and like it's a different side of RP for criminals, right? Going to prison and trying to run what you've got going on the outside from the inside. So I kind of hope they do that, because in a way I think it would make it way better when you do go to prison for a long time.
Yeah, for the reference and just for the viewers, I think, is that talking about giving like Bobby and Carmine basically admin menu and letting, or like dev menu and letting them just like build stuff
Like
or
that,
like create stuff?
he said something about like having like a public queue for the prison, right? So that you could have like what they had on 3.0, right? Where lifers had prior, or there was like a separate lifer queue, so you could just bypass the queue, go into the prison, so you knew there'd be people there. Something like that, I think, is what he was talking about, which would fill it up and I feel like get the RP going again in there if they did that.
Yeah, we saying. Oh, God.
No, I was just saying that was a good idea. Yeah, like bringing lifers back would be amazing, honestly. But yeah.
Yeah, lifers are gonna be basically the public queue, and they have to roleplay with Bobby, Charles, and Carmine to earn like their way out of it.
That's sick, dude. How does that affect server numbers? Like, is it like, because I would say just do a separate instance of the server.
Well, the server's not always full. Their slots are empty right now.
Oh, there you go.
Even in NA?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's like a cap right now, because
It's
I think it's
250, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Didn't know that.
So like how many people are they like looking to like actually have in the prison then?
I don't know. I would imagine probably like 15, 20. Thank you.
That actually sounds kind of sick. Forehead Louis, how have you guys done any like actual hard time now in 4.0, or like what was the biggest sentence you served in 3.0? I'm curious.
Oh, in 3.0? 30 years for the Sanguine War.
Yeah, that's
like
crazy.
30 days. 30 days.
But was
I
that
remember
one
that whole thing.
was
I'll
that
never
one a
forget
little,
that.
was that one a little easier though because it was like solidarity, like a bunch of other people were also in there?
Yeah,
or
I mean,
like,
so Prison Roleplay was really fun for like a week, you know, because everyone was in there and there's like a lot of shit going on. Actually, like it was actually like fun to be in prison for a while, you know. But obviously, eventually, kind of, you know, died off a little bit. But it was fun. We had shootouts in there. I think we killed actual justice. No,
Yeah, you did.
damn targeted. What about in 4.0? What's the biggest time you or Louis has served?
I think I've only done like 70 to 100
Yeah.
months max. I haven't been in there
Yeah.
very long.
yeah, only like 100 months, I think.
I spent more time in there breaking in to go RP with Bobby and Carmine than I have been sentenced, to be honest. I would say. Kind of like the fact it's lawless. Kind of adds a bit of a twist to it. It's like a no man's land kind of thing.
Well, that's already sounding like. I feel like I don't know. I mean, for context, a lot of people have been asking like, "Yo, like, when are you guys gonna get like actual criminals on the podcast?" Because everyone knows I role play as a fake criminal. I mean, that's actually kind of true. Like, Mickey doesn't really do.
You're
Like,
a cosmetic criminal.
yeah, I'm a cosmetic criminal. But I feel like a lot of, and maybe you guys will get, I feel like a lot of the frustrations, but I haven't felt some of these frustrations as a criminal. I feel like a lot of things have actually improved literally in the last like 2 to 3 weeks. I think like prisons had better RP, and I also just feel like crime actually is starting to become more, not even profitable, like just more rewarding. But I want your guys' take on this. How has it been trying to like I at least start a 4.0 versus now earning money as a criminal? How has that role play been for you guys?
My
at the
character's
start,
always broke.
go ahead.
No, go on, you go.
First, yeah, at the start, it was kind of rough as a criminal. I don't think you could make much money as a criminal at the start. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think what I enjoyed at the start was kind of off topic, right? But what I enjoyed was how hard guns were to get. Like,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed how like when somebody did have a gun, it was like a big deal, you know. Like somebody put out a gun, and I was like, oh shit, you know, like you got surprised. I really enjoyed that. I liked how slow it was for criminals to like get guns and stuff, you know. Like I thought that was really good.
I still feel like is it not like that now? I still feel like guns are pretty rare, especially because
It's more common now because of civilian guns. Like, the
civilian.
criminal guns you
Yeah.
can't get because you can't hit the crates anymore, right? But civilian guns, like criminals have them, so.
I feel like they're pretty easy to get now, right? If you got like
Yeah,
20k, you can get a civilian gun off somewhere.
Yeah.
So most people have got them.
sad
Yeah,
taking
I
guns.
felt the same. Like I couldn't really get money at the start. I mean, even now, to be honest, I feel like if you was just focusing mainly on like storylines and like RP and stuff like that, you would struggle to be making lots of money at the start because it felt like you kind of needed to commit a lot of time into certain lanes to make money. Now I feel like it's a bit more casual. Like you can just be signed in for roof running, make a bit of money. You can sell some weed, make a bit of money, and still have time to go do other stuff.
I think it's
Is that-
very different now with weed. With
Yeah.
weed, we can make a lot of money with weed. Like weed
Yeah.
right now is
Yeah.
like number one way to make money for criminals.
Yeah.
I mean, I think my complaint, which again is it feels like it's been fixed, but my sort of complaint from the criminal perspective for 4.0 is it felt like you had to be like a civilian to fund being a criminal, which like it just didn't feel right for like a lot of characters. It was like, why, especially because it was a continuation of 3.0. It's like, why am I like some hardened gangster like running G6 or like running sanitation when it's like, And it's basically like you had to do civilian jobs to fund the criminal work. You couldn't do crim jobs to fund the criminal work. I don't know. I feel like I feel it's better now, but I think that's been my biggest frustration for a while.
What do you mean by that, Blau? Because what do you expect to do in the beginning as a criminal besides like scam people and like rob people? What else do you expect to do?
I mean, I think even just like doing like petty weed stuff, or like, dude, honestly, the fact that they added in a mechanic that was like robbing locals was kind of fun, but like,
It didn't give you anything.
it
It's
doesn't-
like $2, right?
It gives you like, yeah, it's like
$3-4, isn't it?
I mean,
what was the point of that? Like, why were criminals trying to rob locals? I never understood that part because you didn't get much. But if you got caught, it's a felony, right?
Yeah, I think at one point.
Yes, exactly, Sam. Sam, I think that is what is funny is I feel like that has been the major frustration from crims is exactly that.
So I think at one point, you know, when before people had the turf guys figured out, like the baller guy and the other turf guys, people believed, at least I did, our crew did it. We believed that like if you robbed the criminals on the turf, the guy would respect you. So we went around robbing
I
like
thought the same thing.
That's why it's happening. Oh my god.
Yeah, so we went around robbing all the locals to try to get good with the turf guys.
All right, there's my answer. Thank you.
You couldn't rob G6 right at the start, could you? I can't remember. Like when
No, you could.
very
You could. You could. Yeah, you could.
you could, but it was like really like it was
heavy.
way more profitable to do the run than rob the run.
Yeah.
Right? It was like
Like it wasn't worth it. It
$5
was
to
like,
$10 a bag or something like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The defense would not take it for a lot of money, and also it's very heavy. You had to like do it one at a time because each bag was so heavy.
Mm. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
How often does that happen in the crim world where one person just spreads a lie and it goes like wildfire?
all the time.
Yeah, a lot. The
Yeah.
amount of like copium
day.
that I've been fed of like try this to get this. You just
Mostly at the start.
I believe it
Mostly-
every time.
Dude, the funniest shit was I forgot who would tweet this out, but people would tweet out like after the storm, they'd tweet out like, just got like, hey, wow, just got like some gun blueprints from a towing job, and everyone would be like, oh shit, like it was really excited, and then people just spam tow to try to figure out if that was true or not. Yeah.
I think the worst case of this happening was drying weed. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was people were saying all types of stuff to dry weed. People hanging it upside down. Like there's so much like
Oh, yeah,
with
the
drying weed. There was
ACs and
so
all that
much.
shit.
There was so
Yeah.
much fake info with drying weed.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was actually.
All you
crazy.
needed was the rack, right? That's all you need. Yeah, you just needed the rack and that's it. Crazy.
And how do you guys feel about like weed in like 4.0 compared to 3.0? How you have to have it actually inside a property. It needs to be watered. It needs to be and have like a fan. It needs to be dried. It's more realistic than it used to be, right?
Oh,
I
it's
think
so
it's
much
really cool
better.
right now. The way like the recent update, like a few days ago, I think happened. It is very cool.
a lot better now, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's changed the game. Like for people who like doing that, I feel like meth was always that thing, right? You could like sink into it. And it was all very like working out the maths and stuff like that. Now the weed people kind of get the same experience of.
Yeah, but the old
It's not
method is
just
like
plant
very
the
like
seed.
minuscule compared to now, right? Like, it's like way more
Yeah.
complicated now. Yeah.
Right, because
Yeah.
from the cops' perspective, we've seen like 4 different kind of weeds, and then like 6 different kind of strains. So it's getting really deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot different now than it was before. I'll
And-
be honest though, I feel like the main problem, it's a lot better now, but the main problem when crime started, not started, but like maybe the first month or two, is just it's more like the mainly frustrating part was the process. It wasn't about like necessarily how much it paid, but it was just about the fact that if you rob something, then you had to get jewelry. You had to go sell the AC parts, for example, get the jewelry, then you would have to try to do the jewelry run, which I think I did 5 runs and they're all scuffed. So you would do the runs, you have to do the run, and then you have to get the dirty money, then you have to clean the dirty money, and then you have to run the dirty money, like the wash money. You know what I mean? So the problem with crime is just how many steps it was. It was just like a million steps for you to make $500 compared to a guy that was doing G6 and making 10,000 an hour. You know what I mean?
But see, I think the point with that was though, is that not you shouldn't like. I think the way I looked at it is like it's not meant to be done by yourself. There's too many steps to do by yourself. It's supposed to be like, you know, you have a crew and people in your crew do one thing and then do another thing, right? Like somebody watches the money, somebody gets the AC part, somebody does the jewelry run. I think it's supposed to be like steps for everyone to do. Right? Like that's the way I looked at it, at least.
Yeah, but even then, though, I mean, you have what guy that does solo G6, not a care in the world about the money, and just makes 10,000 an hour. You know what I mean? So it's like, I get what you mean, but you know, I feel like, I mean, isn't the whole point of crime? Isn't the point of doing crime is because it pays more than like
I think, yeah,
that's the
I
point of
agree,
crime,
but
right? That it pays more
uh,
than civilian jobs, so you turn to the crime life. But if the civilian life pays you way more than the crime life pays you, what's the point of being a criminal?
It should be no. For me, in my opinion, and I'll give you my perspective. Crim should be easy money. Civ should be hard money, but Civ should be a lot easier to earn that money over time versus Crim because of the risk of being Crim.
Yeah, but like, okay, so this has been my like this is my new like giga take on this that is probably just a horrible take that I'll get flamed for. My thought has been this. I think Crim, like, it sucks, but like I think Crim like almost has to just be like shit pay or like shit process. Like and hear me out for Louis Klein, but I think it's like it's basically G6 is the easiest way to get, like, if you want to just maximize getting money, yeah, you just run G6. If you want to do crime, like, you're not going to get paid anything. You, like, this is the weird take. You basically get paid in content in that you get a role play being a criminal and not doing G6.
What if you don't stream though? What do you get paid in?
True.
I'm going to be, listen, and here's where the take gets weird. It's like, if you're, and again, it's like, you're like garbage take, but it's like, I'm not saying whether it is a good system or a bad system. I'm just saying this is how I see it. Because my thought is, if Crim actually paid really well, then everyone would just be a Crim.
That is true, but it should be difficult to get into. The barrier of entry as you go higher and higher should be much more difficult because you need to invest more money. Like, being a criminal requires investment. That's why you need another job on top, right?
It also
Yeah,
drives you to be a crim now as well, right? Because if you get a felony, you can't work certain jobs. So if you're committing crime once, you kind of can't really turn back at that point. I know that's not for everything, but G6 at least, you get fired, and then at that point you kind of have to commit to being a criminal.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's basically like, I feel like if everyone, like, if crime actually did pay well, everyone would just make their characters being crims. And it's like, so like, let me put it to you this
That's
way.
what happened in 3.0, right?
Yeah. I mean, like,
Crim.
here's the thing. And like, you have character, you know, like, sure, like characters like, I'll be honest, like characters like Peanut, SK, Forehead, and even Mickey, like they don't have near, like, there are probably G6 runners who have just way more money than us, who have not had any like real risk in it.
Or
But
grind,
the reality is, like, I do feel like 4.0 actually has a good split of like a lot of people who are just civilians because they're like, I just want to earn money and just do this shit. Whereas like, I feel as soon as you balance and tip more pay towards being a criminal, like, bro, it's GTA. Why would, like, at the end of the day, like, why would I not just want to be a criminal? It's more fun, frankly.
Okay. Let me ask you this. This is a hot take, okay? Would you rather have cops and robbers in the server than, you know, cops, some criminals, and a lot of grinders?
Shit, I'll take cops and robbers.
Define grinders.
yeah,
Doing group 6 jobs and grime all the time. That's what their function. Like, they're just
I mean,
inject
I would
money
prefer
through the
that.
economy.
I would prefer that because I think it's good that they have an incentive to, you know, do that. Because I mean, somebody running a group 6 truck, and then a crew setting up a robbery on them and planning stuff is also roleplay, right? Like, someone has to do that part of the roleplay, and their incentive is to make money. So someone has to be doing the group 6 runs and stuff, you know.